Welcome to Knickknack's Corner. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Lovecraft Country by Ruff. This book was phenomenal. I had one chapter where I was not sure about it. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. There was a lot of underlying meaning going on in this book. And in the future, I may make a spoiler. Actually, at the end of this video, I might do a spoiler chat on this book. And I'll let you know when that happens. The book follows Atticus, who is our first main character. We do get other main characters involved in the story as we go along, but Atticus is the first one. And we learn some magical properties that he has. Of course, this book is about African-American people going through mid-southern west area of the United States during the 1950s. So racism plays a huge part in this book, and in fact, the real monster of the entire book is racism. And a thing that you'll notice when you read it is not much has changed from then to today. And that's kind of the sad part about it. And the part that got me super interested in it was every step of the way. Stuff was happening, and it was very, very well done. Keeps your interest, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I even sold it to a customer yesterday as a book club book because there is a lot to unpack inside this book. There's a lot to discuss. There's all kinds of information happening. So I'm going to do some spoilers now. So if you're watching, this is your chance to click out if you don't want any spoilers. One of the scenes that really stood out to me big time was Atticus deciding not to go and use the washroom at a gas station, and he decides to go to the woods to use the washroom. We hear this creature stomping through the woods, coming towards him, and it's really set up as like this monster is heading towards him, and he runs out to the road, and it's a sheriff there. And to me, that was just like, okay, so we think there's a monster coming, and then all of a sudden, boom, racism is the monster. And I thought that was really interesting. There is a dude in this book called Brightwhite or something like that. I can't remember exactly what his name was there. Brathwaite. And I see him as, he keeps giving the African Americans all this stuff to get him to help them with stuff. Pays off, a debt owed, and all this other stuff. Gives a house to them, things like that. Of course, all for his own means. But the thing is, it's showing that even if you pay up the repercussions of the past, it doesn't fix the past. All it really does is just throw a band-aid on the solution. And I feel like that's what his character was meant to represent within the book, because he is the driving force behind everything that everyone does, whether you know it or not. And it's all for his own means, his own gain. And I really did feel that he represented the point of view of white people paying up, but it's really not about paying up and being sorry. It's about having something to a means to their own end. And that is definitely what I took out of it. The one scene that really kind of boggled me was the whole heist scene where they're going to get the Book of Names. And when I was reading that chapter, I was hemming and hawing on whether I even liked the book, because before that, I was loving what was happening. I was really interested. I was intrigued. I was really into what was happening with the characters and everything like that. And it ended up being a chapter that did play out in the end of the book, but I just felt it was mostly unnecessary. But that was just me. I also love the potions that he gives, where Churn's, what's her name there? Sorry. Can't remember her name there. Rose. That's it. When it turns Rose from a black woman into a white woman for her to experience the world through a different skin color in the 1950s. And I thought that was also very interesting, especially saying that basically, in order for you to be able to get along in life easily here in America in the 1950s, you have to be white. And I thought that was very interesting yet sad when they did that. She changes into Hillary, and yeah, it was an interesting take on that sort of information that was happening. So there's a lot of degrading of black people inside this book, and it makes sense for the time period. But like I said before, it really stands out how nothing has changed between now and then. I remember at one point it's mentioned about tinted windows, so the cops don't pull people over because they can't see in, so they aren't going to pull you over. But if they see that you're black, they're definitely going to pull you over. So this book just has a lot of nuance. It talks about Jim Crow quite a bit, and I think that if anyone's looking for an interesting, what would this be? A supernatural fantasy horror that actually hits hard for today's standards of what's happening, I would highly recommend Lovecraft Country. It is super well done, well written by Matt Ruff, and it's hit or miss with people. I had someone on my Discord who read it along with me, and she did not like it. It didn't do anything for her. It did do stuff for me. I have a friend of mine at work right now who's reading it. It's doing stuff for her, so it's going to be different amongst everyone who reads it. Anyway, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for coming to the corner, and we'll see you next time.